Hi, and welcome to our Introduction to BigWave series, BigWave 101. In these videos, our goal is to take an absolute beginner and after just a few short videos, give you a comfort level when using our software. I think you will find BigWave easy to use and simple to navigate. In this first video, we cover the major areas inside BigWave, and along the way, we show you navigation techniques. After watching this video, you will understand the basic areas as well as how to use BigWave effectively. Like any application, you are assigned a username and password by your BigWave admin. You enter these items on the login screen. Once logged in, you are taken to your home screen. Assuming login permissions allow, you'll have access to projects, customers, technicians, partners, and asset types. Each of these are jumping off points to access other items in BigWave. These other items include work orders, which is the area most people will spend their time, but also customer sites and assets. Remember, if you're following along with your own login and don't see some of these items, it's because your view has been simplified by your company admin. Finally, there's a setup area where BigWave setup functions are held. For example, it's in the setup area that you add new users to BigWave. Let's visit each of these areas briefly and, along the way, weave in navigation techniques. First, focusing on the login screen, enter the credentials provided to you by your company admin as you see here. If your site is enabled for two-factor authentication, then check either your text messages or your email for your login code. Once logged in, you are taken to your home screen. At the top of the page, you will find your company logo, a notifications button, your username, and the current time and product version. A menu provides access to a few items including logging out. To the right of that is BigWave's Quick Search, which you can use to quickly jump to any part of the application. Below that is the dark blue navigation bar. This area is important as you can use it to understand where you are at any given moment. It doesn't show much right now other than I'm on my home page. However, I will continue to highlight its contents as we start moving around the application. The home screen, like every other in BigWave, has a section navigation bar on the left. Clicking a section reveals details about that section. At the top of every section is a section header. For example, my home page opened to the Projects section, which shows me a list of projects in BigWave. Don't worry about what projects are at this point. That will be covered in a subsequent video. Click the Customer section to see a list of customers. I click a row from the grid of customers and the customer page opens. Notice the blue navigation bar now shows you are on a customer page and the name of the customer. Customers have physical locations, which in BigWave are called sites. I can see all customer locations in BigWave by clicking the Sites section. From there, I can navigate to a site page. The navigation bar now shows you're on a site page, the site ID, address, and customer name. Notice the site page, just like customer and home, has its own navigation bar with different sections. I click Home to go back to the beginning. The navigation bar now shows I'm at my home page. Following along to Technicians, I open a Technician page. The navigation shows I'm on a Technician page and the text name. I can click Home to go back, or I can click Finished. I do that and the home page opens back up. Following along to Partners, I open a Partner page. Now, instead of clicking Home or Finished, I will click the browser back arrow to get back home. Any of these methods work just fine. Back to the Projects section, I click one of the projects. The project opens to the project page. From the blue bar, see how I can click the customer name. This opens the customer page. I'll go back to the project page by clicking Finished. You should now be getting a feel for how to navigate through BigWave to accomplish different tasks. By clicking different items, we are taken to different areas of the application. Most people primarily only deal with the home, project, and work order pages, but it's handy to know how other pages are weaved into the picture. Here are some navigation techniques that should aid in your productivity. Work orders can be opened from this grid by clicking a row. I'll open this first work order. The work order opens in the same window. I do whatever I need to do, and I click Finished. Or you can hit the back button. Now I want to work on the second work order, so I click that row and that work order opens. I do what needs to be done and click Finished. And I can continue on this way making edits. And this is a fine way to work, but sometimes it's convenient to open multiple work orders at a time. Notice in the grid, there's an underlined element, which in this case is the BigWave internal work order ID. If I click that, the work order opens in a new tab. Now this is a little better because I can flip between the project and the work order, and there are situations where you want to do exactly that. But if you need to make the same edit to multiple work orders at a time, then you can quickly open a bunch of work orders in new tabs by holding down your Control key while clicking the link from the grid. And this only works from the link. If you click the row, then the work order opens in the same tab as we've already seen. But if you click the link with the Control key simultaneously pressed, you can quickly open multiple work orders at a time into new tabs. Now, just visit each tab to do your work, and when done, just close the tab. For example, say I need to change the statuses in 4 work orders to a new status. I could use an import to do this in a single operation, but this time I will just open all 4 in new tabs and proceed that way. Use the Quick Search option to find and quickly jump to any item in the system. Keep in mind the search function scans across many different fields for each type. See our video for what search fields are scanned for each type. Using browser controls can be a good way to navigate in certain situations. Doing a long press and hold on either the forward or back buttons in the browser reveals a menu of previously used locations. BigWave decorates these menus with descriptive text so you can quickly jump to an area previously opened. By now you should have a good understanding of the mechanics of how to navigate BigWave efficiently. Having a mental map of the screens represented by this diagram will aid you to becoming an expert in BigWave. As always, we are here to help. Please reach out if you have any questions, and be sure to check out our other training videos to maximize your BigWave experience.